obviously Raygun broke it.
Obviously, Raygun broke it with her breaking.
Yeah.
Is that a sentence? Is
It
that
is
correct?
now.
Yeah, it is. Broke it with breaking.
Broke it with breaking, a podcast. She'll start a podcast.
That's her podcast.
That's her podcast.
There we go. Remember, so when she gets the podcast and that's the name and it's famous, go in the comments and say, I said it first.
Get her
and
on
we'll
the Pop
defend you.
Report. Get her on this couch.
Well,
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
it's the Pop Report.
So juicy. Yay.
I like Destiny's Child.
Are you Kelly Rowland? No, you're Michelle. You're Michelle.
You're Michelle. I was like, I'd like to think, I don't think I'm the Beyonce, but I'd like to think I'm Kelly and have some choreo down and don't fall down on stage. But I'd like to think
That was a unanimous vote. You're Michelle.
you're Michelle.
Well, hey girls, there's back again with 3 of us today. We have Miss Lewis, the yapping gallery, and the sidelines over here, full frontal.
Prepare to be sick of me. You'll never get rid of me.
Frontal.
Full frontal. How are we doing, kids?
I'm doing great. I'm fantastic. I'm happy to be back in LA.
I was called Michelle in this opening, so like that's how we're starting.
Well, yes. I feel like you are the Michelle. If we were on stage performing some pretty intense choreo, you'd fall. And
okay.
we just keep it pushing.
Yeah, we
Accusations.
would keep the show rolling.
We keep it going. Kelly Rowland keeps it rolling, you know?
This slander. I would not fall. I would gracefully get back up and be very demure.
In order to gracefully get back up, that means you've had to fall.
Exactly. Thank you.
What's new with you two? Otherwise, besides throwing insults at me.
Not much. I mean, you've been traveling. You've been globetrotting all around.
Yeah.
Did I travel after the last time I was
You
on?
went to Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
You went
was
to
Europe
Malta.
after?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did Malta, I did Greece, I did Italy, which were really, really fun. I want to leave the States like desperately because
Where are you moving?
probably Europe.
It sounded like
just
that Miranda Cosgrove line, like probably Europe.
Probably fuck. Ooh,
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Europe was so cool, especially because like for what we do, I feel like Europe is so still excited. They're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we love social media. We love influencers. Where here it's like everyone's an influencer. Everybody hates each other.
Yeah.
It's all about money. They're like, oh my God, like try this new restaurant. And then all the restaurants are like inviting them. It's like super cool. I don't know. They really like enjoy it, especially Malta. Like I loved Malta.
Okay, I'm going to Malta so I can get my ego stroked.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I'm a celebrity.
I am
And
a
I'm not.
celebrity.
I'm not.
Well, thank you for returning from your
Thank
globetrotting
you.
to Los Angeles.
Thank you. What's new with you, Zachary? Besides sipping out of that nice turtle-killing straw of yours.
Listen,
the
you know what? We do worse
Girl, I
than
know.
kill. Katy Perry is literally ruining
The
a
dunes.
forest somewhere in the dunes.
Dancing on the dunes.
Yeah.
Dancing on the wrong dunes is what I saw a headline say, but continue with your tangent.
No, there's not much. I mean, I've just been living my life, waking up, running. I injured myself. Thank you. Because I'm a runner. I'm a track star.
I was going to say, I just started, you did that vlog, and 5 a.m. is insane. I feel like you get up earlier than
No,
4
no,
a.m.
no.
4
First
a.m.,
of all,
right?
Zachary did Court TV yesterday
yeah.
at 5
At 5
a.m. with full fucking glam. And this is like another day for you, though.
Yeah. No, yeah, I had to be, yeah, that was wild. Because normally, like, we don't start recording until, like, 8. So, like, I have a full morning. But this time, I had to be, like, up, shower, ready, Court TV.
How was Court TV?
I had to be, like, on.
Like, what do you
Legally
talk
Blonde.
about on Court TV?
I talked about the Girardi criminal trial because it's currently ongoing. Are you familiar?
Is that Erica Jane? Yeah, I probably think that was the last season I watched of Beverly Hills, was when all that was happening. She had to like move into a separate house and all that stuff. But I know it's gotten worse. Definitely.
No, it's gotten better for her. Well, he's now headed to prison. I mean, the trial is wild because like all these former employees are now coming out and talking about like things that were going down. Because his argument is like, oh, well, I was getting old. I wasn't really able to keep up with what was going on.
Girl,
so,
that's your defense?
Yeah.
And so,
Every rich person is a terrible person. I'm gonna be so for real. They're all evil.
Here's the thing. If everyone always is like, I didn't know, it's like, girl, you have a business manager. You have a tax accountant.
Well, that's what
team.
he's saying. He's blaming it all on the CFO. And he's like, the CFO was the one that was overseeing everything. So when he was paying for my wife's Amex, that was my CFO's fault.
Right. Not yours.
Right. And the CFO's like, listen, yeah, but also we were in this together.
Yeah.
Like the CFO's like, we both have to admit to this. And he's like, I don't know. I have Alzheimer's and dementia now. So
they always pull that card.
Well,
I mean, he might have it. I don't know, but I feel like that's like they're like, okay, you're gonna plead insanity, and it's like yeah, sure. Like, why would you agree to that? I'm like, no, I'd rather go down swinging.
Yeah.
Whew.
So now the trial's expected to end next week, so we'll see what happens. But it looks like he might be getting locked up at 84.
Wow.
Well, we have a lot to talk about today.
That we do. Are we going to start with what's hot in the headlines?
I think we absolutely should. We have a couple things in our headlines. We have Matthew Perry, we have Justin Baldoni, Justin Bieber, and we have AUSBreak defending Raygun. Which one you all want to get into first?
We need to talk. Okay, we need to talk about this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff because I have a lot to say.
We talked about it like
we
our last
talked about it a little
episode,
before,
but there's more.
But there's a lot that's come out because now there's this like anti-Blake campaign that's going on.
Really?
And I'm low-key living for it. Like, she's a bitch.
I'm starting to think about just like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Like, everybody's like, love them. They're so attractive. Love their goofy relationship. But like, now I'm starting to think like the way they treat each other online in front of everybody. I'm like, what is it like behind closed doors? I bet you're both awful people. Like, I bet you're both just like really terrible because the interview that she did, I don't know what, maybe it was an Australian reporter or she did that interview with a reporter.
Oh, yeah.
And the reporter had known she was pregnant. And
Yeah.
said, oh, I love your bump. And then she goes, love your bump. And I was like, okay, well, that was crazy.
That's a wild remark to also hit back with.
Yeah.
I know. And the reporter's like, I wanted to cry in that interview. I was like, I would have wanted to cry too. Imagine Blake Lively pokes at your pot belly.
So
Yeah.
for those who missed it, we talked about this a little bit last episode, but there's been this It Ends With Us, like, entire fiasco. There's also It Begins With Us, which is another book from that author. It Ends With Us has been just like in the tabloids for like not the good reasons. Justin has like producer and director credits. Blake has producer and acting credits. So they just didn't agree. The author has sided with Blake on a lot of different like choices for how like the woman should be portrayed in this. And a lot of just headlines of saying, you know, Justin made Blake uncomfortable. Blake had these
What,
situations
have you heard
on
the
scene.
allegations though now? That they're saying that like part of when he made her uncomfortable, it was because there was a scene where he had to lift her up and he wanted to check with the choreographer to make sure that like, because he had a back injury previously. So he's like, I just want to make sure I lift her up in a way that doesn't hurt my back.
Yeah.
And she was like offended that he
I could see how that can land
like
wrong.
asked for her.
I can
apparently
see how that
asked
can
for her weight, like
Yeah.
how much she weighed. But it's like, okay, with the context, I'm like, well, yes.
Yeah, with the context, it makes sense. Back injury, lifting, you have to, like, that does make sense.
Yeah.
But if you take it out of context and spin it and then use words like chauvinist and, you know, made me uncomfortable, then it's like, what?
Wasn't there also a kissing scene that they said he, quote unquote, held too long? Like, there was just things that made her feel not good about taping together,
which is why I think it was then smart when he's on this press tour to talk about the importance of having the intimacy choreographers on set checking everything. And he's like, and I would make sure that when I would wrap a scene, I would look to the choreographers to see if they thought it was a good move or a bad move or get their feedback. And he was very specific about, we had people on set that were overseeing all of these things.
And now he's hired a crisis PR manager from what the latest headline I've seen.
Good for him.
I think it's kind of needed. I mean, you don't go into that territory unless it's bad. Like, crisis PR is like, that's
or
not
you want to
cheap.
prevent it from getting
Bigger.
out of hand, which
There's
I
stuff
think
that might be
now
there
that there's speculation, I think now you need to stay ahead of it.
What is your thought, Lois? So you said you wanted to talk about something about this.
Well, it's the whole just like, is Blake actually a nice person or not? And I'm starting to lean towards she's not. But then even with him hiring like that crisis person, it's almost like he knows it's not going to go in his favor. Not because he's done anything wrong, but because like, I feel like Blake is a little powerful, like in the sense that like that she could say and do whatever she wants, and then he has to kind of pick up the pieces and be like, "Hey, no, this isn't actually how it was put together. I have to put it back together myself."
Yeah,
and like explain himself a little bit better. And I don't know. I feel like he's panicking not because he did something wrong, but because he knows he didn't do something wrong.
Well, I mean, we're post Me Too at this point, that it's like the guy rarely ever wins. And I'm always wanting to lean on the side of like the pro-woman side of it. But like when you do dig into, I mean, I've heard things about Blake. I have friends that I guess are close to his brother or close to the situation. So I've heard things about Blake and I've seen things like clear black and white things that I was like, oh, this is not, you know, I think when she started with, or when she had like the Gossip Girl moment, like you reached this level of fame where at that point it was allowed for you to be a bitch behind the scenes, and maybe there were rumors or whatever, but like, you know, you were allowed to be mean to people because social media wasn't what it is now, where people are willing to like blast you and out you. But yeah.
Well, I was reading something too. It was back, so you know, A Simple Favor. With
Yeah,
Anna,
I love that.
Anna
movie.
Kendrick.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
So apparently
movies.
they like hate each other.
Oh yeah,
like
Really?
and couldn't
I
be in the
believe
same
it.
room on set. Like they were like nasty to each other.
There's
and
a
it's
Simple
just, like,
Favor 2 being filmed right now too, or like
with-
it's
is
in
it with
production.
them? Is it?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Like
I mean, I think she
Money
did
will
that
do.
role
Money
very
talks.
well. So like, you know, there's times where people play a role and you're like, this is too good. Like
Blake.
I don't want to believe it's true, but she did very well in that role. Like,
Yeah, she did really well.
I don't
She's doing
know.
it really well now.
well, moving on to other things. There has been a lot going on in the post-Olympic world, even though the Olympics are now done. And I want to talk about this because I know there's like complex layers. I'm so tired of TikTok girls being like, here's me with the green screen filter and here's the facts. I'm like, you don't have any credentials talking about this topic.
I think that was shots
Not-
fired at us.
Not y'all. I'm just saying there's some girls on the internet who like will see something and they're like,
Here's the
this,
green
They're
screen.
like, hold the fuck up.
there's the green screen. So Raygun, the breakdancer who went viral, I feel so fucking bad for this girl.
I don't.
At this point, I
I
feel
don't.
like, here's my take. Obviously, there's been a lot going on of how did this girl qualify for the Olympics? How is this something that she got involved with? Oh my God, she put her husband on a board. None of that's true. I think
Oh.
she had the biggest flop moment and she's probably so embarrassed. Like any artist.
No, she's not. Didn't you see her at the closing ceremony? She was out dancing in
fine.
the streets and everybody was cheering her on.
Well,
She's had
she's-
her viral moment
She's
and
had
she's
a lot
gone.
of bullying now come out online.
Bullying is a
We
loosely
all get
yeah,
bullied.
but not only that, but bullying is not an appropriate term. Like turning her into a meme is not bullying her. Yes, there is an element of bullying, and we were talking about this earlier.
Mhm.
Anybody that puts themselves out there publicly on the internet or wherever, you're going to get negative comments, and that's not cool. I'm not endorsing that. I'm not supporting that. I'm saying it comes with the territory. However, she's got like people are embracing her for. I compare it to the She Bang guy on American Idol. Remember the guy She Bang,
Oh,
She
man,
Bang,
what's
and
his
that was like a
name? Oh,
viral
yes.
moment that became a meme.
Yeah.
Right. At least the part of people talking about how she qualified for the Olympics, that's the part where she's like, look, like, you know, I have my ups and downs performances, but like, I need to set the record straight. AUSBreak, who basically governs the breakdancing group of Australia, was founded in 2019. In 2020, they announced that breakdancing could be something that you qualify for the Olympics in. And so all of these rumors circulated that she put her husband in a competition board and she put her friends in the competition to qualify for the Olympics. I think that's the part that's messed up of like, that information's already out there. It's going to ruin her reputation. So AUSBreak had to literally come out and say, girl, that cannot happen. The Olympics cannot happen that way. So when it was announced, you in 2023 could qualify. So in regional competition, she placed second. She placed at one, she placed 64th. And so it's up to a couple different things. It's about originality. It's about obviously
very original.
who you're up against. I think she really said, you know what? Who knows how I'm going to do at the Olympics? I'm going to try to put some Australian spin on it. It's like also musicians who have really bad performances. They'll come back from it. But all this misinformation about how she qualified for the Olympics, her husband, I think that's a part where it's it sucks to see that she's probably oh my God, whatever. I had a little moment. She's performed outside of it, but she's now I have this reputation. People think I scammed my way into the Olympics.
Well, I think the confusion stemmed from the fact that, and this is understandable, right? And this is how things get taken out of context, is she did have some level of involvement in helping to put together, because there was no system in place. You couldn't, it's not like the breakdancing has been part of the Olympics for decades.
Yeah.
And I think she did help with the coordination of okay, well, if there is no female breakdancing team that we can take to the Olympics, let's put some stuff together and let's try to build a system where there is a criteria that we have to, we have to participate in. And maybe some of her friends did participate in this as well, because her friends happen to also be breakdancers. And so it's natural, or maybe they built a friendship through, trying to meet these different criteria. That's all still new. It's all still in early stage development, because breaking or breakdancing. I don't really know the difference, but like it's all still so preliminary. And I mean, well, I guess we don't have to worry about it because it's not coming back to the Olympics. Are you a Raygun fan?
I'm rooting for Raygun. You want to know why?
Good
Because
for her.
although she's probably embarrassed by all of this, it's what you do with like that viral moment. Like
I don't think she's embarrassed though. I think she's relishing in her moment.
I think what she needs to do is like, you know how we have like we're probably getting into this, like the girl that's doing the demure trend. Like you need to take advantage of these silly little moments and like start reaching out to brands. Be like, I went viral for this. Like capitalize on me now because people are watching me. Like that's how you do it. Like you got
to hock to it and spit on that thing.
Exactly. Like that is just the way it is. Like no offense to her, but we award mediocrity now.
Yeah.
And it's like that. But
well,
like,
I mean, I think she was a little below mediocrity, but
yeah, but it's like take advantage of that then. Like you're not going to get another moment like that clearly. So unless you come back in 2032, is that the next one that could possibly have breaking?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it just sucks that like 32,000 people signed a change.org petition to like get her out. And
we can't take those seriously. Everybody creates a change.org is the stupidest fucking bogus petition site that does absolutely nothing. I don't take change.org petitions seriously.
I signed one for my student loans and I still have them.
Girl.
So.
There you go. Because they're not real. So anybody can create them.
A guy named Lo Napoleon actually was the founder of AUSBreak, but obviously she competed in like a lot of their different, competitions, but she placed second in a lot of them in 2021, 2022. The one she placed 64th in, like there are qualifying events. You can qualify through like the regional championships, through other tournaments, but like she also placed really bad in some of these tournaments. It's based on who you're competing against, the vibe, and like a lot of different techniques. But I mean, I want her to relish in the moment. She went and
she did her thing, and now she's having her moment. I mean, I like the bitch. I think she should do more breakdancing.
Listen, anybody can dance. Like that is
wow.
What
You can really dance.
You could put Raygun
dance
on the streets on Hollywood Boulevard, and I would walk by and be like, "That's a dancer."
Yeah,
that's what would happen, because anybody could be flailing their limbs on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, you should be dancing back up for Beyonce. That's crazy. And it could
or
be
you
the
should
worst
be
dancing
Michelle.
ever. Could be you.
Could be you.
There you go. You can join the next breakdancing Olympics.
Could be a breakdancer too.
Anybody can. Just believe in yourself.
Our last headline for Hot in Headlines, is it fresh of this morning?
Yeah, Thursday morning.
Wow.
Thursday morning, TMZ reported that there was an arrest in the Matthew Perry death. I mean, it wasn't wrong. It was an accidental death, so it's not like anybody did anything. But I guess they're cracking down on how he got access to ketamine because there's, obviously ketamine therapy is very different from Special K, which is the street variation.
Special K is also a cereal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the nickname for it. That's the nickname for it. The street name for like street ketamine. And so I guess they were investigating how Matthew Perry had access, because I guess they found out that the last time that he had like a scheduled therapy where the ketamine was dosed by a doctor and administered by a doctor was a week prior to his death. So there was no way he would still have ketamine in his system if it was from that last scheduled therapy session. So they found out that he had some street ketamine. They have been investigating multiple people, and they finally arrested one doctor that was responsible for, I guess, prescribing it or dealing it off the books illegally.
Wow.
Seems like a very Michael Jackson-esque like case, and like there was this speculation even when the death happened, but obviously it takes a long time to like file suit, gather evidence, and like, I mean, I think we're gonna see a trial from this of some sort.
Possibly. I mean, they were able to dig up text messages and like find out who was coordinating this stuff and how much Matthew Perry was paying for this, street Special K. And then apparently they found other celebrities and people in Hollywood that were also, with these dealers buying Special K.
Wow.
So I'm sure this will continue to blow up.
Well, a lot in the headlines. I think we should pivot to things that have also just popped up that are just like how, like this very demure trend. It came out in like hot out the gate, and it's like prevalent everywhere, and I'm already like oversaturated in it. Do you all know this very demure, very cutesy, very mindful,
very familiar?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm obsessed with it, but I'm also like, I have been fed it so much in my feed in the past like few days that I'm like, okay, what's the next development of this trend? Like, what are we going to do with it?
Where does it go from here? Because it's like, okay, yeah, you can just say like everything you do is demure and mindful and considerate, but it's like, okay, and now where do we go? What's next?
Like Raygun nowhere.
Oh,
yeah, it
So-
really has no legs after this.
Well,
besides
like
for that
Haktua
creator.
girl. Yeah, Haktua had her moment. And
Yeah.
now nobody's talking about her anymore. I mean, her next pivot is OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, truly.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, they picked her up really fast, like an agent or something picked her up, and like
Dumb.
this person, I forgot their name. Jules, I think is their name.
I think so.
They I love what they're doing is they'll make like videos being like, me and my grandma want to go to Mexico, how are we getting their Airbnb? And now like all the brands in the comments, like Spotify is like, we want to work with you, like listen to music and be demure with us. Like that is the way to do it. Like
Yeah.
capitalize on this little
moment,
trend that
yeah.
could go away, but then you're gonna work with all these brands that'll set you for life.
Yeah.
So that's probably, it's not for us anymore, it's for that creator.
Yeah.
She said the use of the word started as a joke, and now she's like, it's a thing. But like, it is funny how a lot of people have picked up on it, and like there are news anchors using it, and people are like, what the fuck is this
Yeah.
word? And
when the news anchors start to use it is when I'm like, okay, let's stop.
she did a
Yeah, that's no
collaboration
longer
with
cool.
Patrick Ta as well, and like she's just like, I'm just out here living my life, and like she even had a user comment on her videos saying, I blocked you before, like, and I unblocked you to watch this because I enjoy like this content now. And Jules was like, I was kind of annoying. All I do is fucking complain about shit. But she's like, I changed my attitude and I realized maybe I'm the problem, So now everyone's like, we like you. We get you.
Did you see the beef?
No.
That there was
There's
someone
beef?
someone made a video calling her out saying that they started the demure trend like a while ago, and in the comments people were defending Jules, but then people were defending that creator being like, yeah, I remember it, but then it came out that their version of the demure trend was to be like exclusive, almost like I'm so skinny and demure, like I'm so hot and demure, whereas like I feel like Jules is more like anything can be
Well,
demure.
cutesy,
it's
cheeky.
the way you
Yeah.
way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like when things happen like that, it's like, okay, you can
Sorry,
get
you're a
inspiration.
loser.
Sorry,
it didn't
pop
work
off
out
for
for
you.
you.
I think when people have like, I started this, it's like you all can take inspiration from each other. I think it's really like who broke it, who made it happen. Like, I don't know who this other girl is, but
Well,
like
obviously Raygun broke it.
obviously Raygun
Mhm.
broke it with her breaking.
Yeah.
Is that a sentence? Is
It
that
is
correct?
now.
Yeah, it is. Broke it with breaking.
Broke it with breaking, a podcast. She'll start a podcast.
That's her podcast.
That's her podcast.
There we go. Remember, so when she gets the podcast and that's the name and it's famous, go in the comments and say, I said it first.
Mhm.
Get her
and
on
we'll
the Pop
defend you.
Report. Get her
Yeah.
on this couch.
Well,
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
I'd
Lots
love to.
unpack.
I'd be like, so tell me about your husband.
Yeah.
How did he get on that panel?
How do I get on that panel as someone who has never danced in their life?
You know what? You got to give the bitch some credit because she made it all the way to the Olympics.
the grandest stage. Like this would have never been a thing if she hadn't gotten there. So you know what? It's like people are comparing it to like Anna Delvey. I'm like, that's kind of insane.
very different.
I'm like,
It's
she
kind of
qualified
insane.
fairly, but like she made a moment out of it.
Mm-hmm. She's not done.
She's not done.
We'll see her
Speaking of
again.
not done, it's time for Watcher Scoop.
Yay.
Do you know that the Traitors is coming back for not one but 2 seasons?
I did see that, yes.
So 4 and 5?
4 and
Yeah.
5.
Without even airing 3?
That's like Kardashian
Yeah.
model.
Wow. I'm
but
excited.
like maybe they might go
Hell
back
yeah.
and say only 1 season, depending on how this season performs.
I don't know if you walked in at this conversation, but I think we're like back in the golden age
Yeah.
of like reality TV competition where like the villains are going to be the fan favorites, where people used to hate the villains. They're like, they're mean, like be nice to everybody. No, we need a mean fucking
Yeah.
winner. Like we need mean winners who are like, don't care. I feel like the Traitors has like given us that with every person they cast.
Yeah.
Everyone is mean.
As
It's
they
amazing.
should be. Except the first season. Remember the first season when Suri won and then they
The
were
normal
crying in the
people.
end. They're like, you deceived us. I'm like, shut the
No, you
fuck.
deceived
It's
us.
literally the
Yeah.
Traitors.
Like you deceived
It's
us,
a
but we love
game.
you. It's like, ugh. She's taking that money to the bank. Then she
Good
went on
for
Big
her.
Brother. Like she knew what she was doing.
I know. She was smart about that. And they were like wanting her to have like some sort of remorse for like duping them. Like Andy was crying. And she's just like, I won. Like, I'm not shared. They're like, why don't you split the money? And she's like, I won. I'm not splitting the money. She's like, I got family to pay for.
Yeah,
I
like
got
maybe I'm
bills.
just like heartless. I don't know, because if I went on a show like that and I knew there was like a significant amount of money on the line, I don't care about any of you. Like, I know you don't
Right.
care about me.
I'm playing
Yeah,
a
we're
game.
all
no
here-
one, no one said in this game like I'm looking out for you. It's like me, myself, and I are looking out for each other.
Yeah.
The game is literally called The Traitors.
Yeah, like you're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Me
like
and my
that's
7
the
personalities are supposed to take you down.
object of the game. Exactly.
I would like to get someone from the current cast of the Traitors about to release on the podcast.
Mhm.
I'll put that out there. I'll just Sam Asghari.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you're
Oh,
here-
That's a really good one.
Oof.
I mean,
What about Dorinda?
Dorinda would be great.
I think Dorinda would be fun. Clip.
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 I need that. I need her to do that.
I learned what that was 2 months ago.
You when you're
Um,
editing this clip.
Clip. And a
Oh, and a clip.
clip.
Clip that.
Do you all watch? Did you watch Golden Bachelor? Any
No.
of you? Do you
No,
watch
I kept,
Bachelor in
I
general?
kept
No.
up with it. I used to be a big Bachelor. Like, I would do recaps every week.
Really?
And then I got bored of it. I was like, you know what? It's the same shit every week. Someone's crying. Someone's sending themselves home. So I just got over it. But I'm very familiar with the
very
new
demure,
format.
very cutesy,
Not
very
even.
mindful.
Very delusional, very depressing.
Well, obviously we had Golden Bachelor, and so like that really brought a lot of new fondness to the franchise. A lot of people were like, "Where is this going? There's so many additions, I can't keep up." And then that obviously shook things up. Jerry obviously had his divorce, but Joan is our Golden Bachelorette from Golden Bachelor.
Are people gonna watch that?
long.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
what's the audience for that? Like, who, are geriatrics watching that, or are we?
I don't know. I
watching
feel
it?
like people were watching the Golden Bachelor. Like they wanted to root for Jerry, and then we found out he was lying to us, like men do.
Mhm.
But
He
like,
lied?
I don't know. Didn't he? Wasn't he like an escort back in the day? No, that
Oh.
was Finding Prince
That was
Like,
Charming.
finding.
hold
That
on.
was. That's, I was like, that's
Like,
a
wait a
different-
minute.
Wait a damn minute. Yeah, they split after 3 months. They were like, look, like we live far apart from each other. But Joan, one of the girls, she is now the Golden Bachelorette, and she's saying, from her time on the show to now, she has been on dating apps, and she's like, people want me to like send feet pics. People want me to like, do a lot of strange things. She's like, I've had a hard time coping with it. But
Listen, that's when you know you're hot.
You're-
If somebody
you're
wants to see
hot.
your feet, that means they're attracted. Like that's a
okay,
compliment,
here, riddle me this.
right?
I agree.
So-
no, I'm 100%.
Thank you.
So Joan from the Golden Bachelorette said, well, Golden Bachelor at this point, whatever you want to call it. She said one person offered to buy all of the shoes she wore on Golden Bachelor. She said it was scary. Her kids are like, give me your freaking
I
phone.
would sell them. Fuck yeah! You want my? Anybody wants to buy my? I'll send
How-
you my fucking underwear.
My-
I don't care at this point. For the
Yeah.
right price, I will send you whatever you
But
If I
my
don't
want.
have to get
question
in
is-
contact with you,
Yeah.
take it and give me your
FedEx,
money.
yeah.
My question is how many pairs of shoes? Is it one pair of shoes? And she's like, this shoe worn for 5 days straight, $1,700.
Yeah, people did that on eBay back in the day
Good for
Oh,
her.
with
eBay.
bags of air.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, this bag of air is from the Justin Bieber concert,
Yeah,
$10,000," and
remember
people
that.
would buy it.
Yeah.
Like that's people have stupid money to spend on stupid shit.
Listen, these people complaining about their issues with what happens when you are famous. Like, you know what? Own it. Sell your farts.
You applied.
So your
You
farts.
applied to the show.
You wanted to be on
You wanted
television,
to be on television.
and then you're mad that people are thinking that you're attractive? That people want to buy your shoes?
Yeah.
I will sell all my shoes, buy myself a whole new shoe collection.
Well,
Yeah, it's about starting a business.
Yeah.
You gotta start a shoe
See,
business.
nobody wants to fucking get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
you know, the Katy Perry shoe collection could actually have a redemption arc if she sells shoes that she personally wore.
she
my
had a
opinion.
shoe collection.
She has a shoe collection.
where?
Hire me for Crisis PR because I will get you through your shit. Katy Perry, sell your shoes.
She has other things to worry about right now.
Yeah, like
2
saving
false
the
start
rainforest.
singles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pivoting. I feel like I'm now getting better at my pivots.
You are.
Except when you call them out.
Yeah.
Except when you call them out.
yeah, like when you say pivot, it's not a pivot anymore. Now it's like
Well, you
now
say
we're unpacking that.
Pivot. Aren't I getting really good at my
yeah.
pivot?
yeah, not anymore. It's okay, Michelle.
So I don't know if you all saw this, but Matt Damon actually just spoke about all of the like heat that Ben Affleck has gotten over the years of their time knowing each other. He said, 25 years they've known each other. Like there has been consistent press after Ben. And he didn't necessarily say like anything about the Ben and Jennifer stuff, but he's like, look, like, quote, I can't imagine living under that scrutiny. And it's been like that for 25 years. And we've had parallel careers in a lot of ways. And I'm so fortunate to have been kind of excused from part of it.
Yeah, because he said what not that he had a boring marriage, but he wasn't promiscuous in his marriage. It was just him and his wife, which is like, that's how you do it. Like that is how the key to a long and happy marriage is.
Luciana Barrasso was his his boring marriage.
Which, like, no, you were just married properly, and there's no headline to
Scandal,
that. Like, oh my God, they're so happy. No one's picking up that magazine. They don't care. That's why this is like, why are Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, with the money that they've made from various things that they've done, just leave the country for a little bit and like just be gone, disappear, and come back like in 5 years. Like, let it all just disappear and get out of the headlines. But they keep walking places and getting attacked by paparazzi. Jennifer Lopez is being nasty to people in the Hamptons or wherever.
I'm at the Grove and there's paparazzi. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to shop with my children.
Like, babe, you're in a tourist trap. What do you think?
I thought you said Taurus, like Scorpio Taurus. And I was like, Taurus.
Tourist.
I've been with a lot of those. Yeah, he basically, said Matt Damon's really been here in the past, like for my downs, like through roles. In 2022, he said to like Entertainment Weekly, like he's been there a lot. So I'm interested to see what also comes up of like, now people are probably going to go after Matt Damon being like, so what do you and Ben talk about? Like, what do you know about the Ben situation? And I think that probably was his most dip his toe in the water about this and nothing more situation. But I'm honestly surprised. I feel like paparazzi or tabloids don't go after Matt Damon, even though he's so close to Ben. Like, I'm surprised that they're not pushing him on a lot of questions, or like the people close to these celebrities. We don't really know who is close to Jennifer Lopez. Like, that's something that none of us have known for years. Who?
Benny.
Who's Benny?
Her manager.
Oh, I thought you meant like Benny Blanco. I was like, different.
I went to like she has
Delola.
Delola, the cocktail brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so one of the events I went to was like super intimate on like the Beverly Hills Hotel rooftop, and like she was with like a group of her friends, and they're all just like very normal people, where she is like clearly
the it girl,
standout of them all. But like they were all just having a good time. Then she's just there. I'm like, she doesn't even look like she likes these people. So I'm like, are they actually her friends, or is this just how she is, like type vibe? I don't know. It's super interesting because it's like Matt Damon, I feel like, just minds his business. He does his job, goes home.
He's boring,
and that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
I'd rather
that's
be paid
the reality,
to be boring. Like, you don't have to do shit.
I would be a J-Lo.
Really?
Don't take pictures of me as I'm at the Grove.
I could hear that coming from you.
I'd be in every picture posing. Like, I would be like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna sell these to someone anyway. You might as well look good in them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, rounding out our episode, we're talking about couples news.
It's just better when they're talking about you rather than when they're not.
It's true. Or you could just like hide, make your quick buck and leave.
Nah.
Like Jenna Marbles, where's she at?
Girl,
living
different
Jenna
episode.
Marbles?
Different episode.
I know.
She's not doing YMCA classes?
That's Gabby
Hanna.
Hanna.
That's Gabby.
She also just performed in like Pennsylvania. Sorry, I digress. She's like performed.
Gabby Hanna performed in Pennsylvania
for like 8 people. It
For
was on
what?
TikTok.
Girl.
Don't know.
Ooh.
Kinda
Speaking
love
of
it.
other couple
But what
news.
happened to Jenna Marbles?
Speaking of other couple news.
Got canceled, left.
Yeah.
Oh, she got canceled. Why did she get canceled?
That's another episode.
Everybody's
That's
getting
another
We
episode.
need to do a
These
special
days.
episode
That's
for
special
cancellations
episode.
that we miss.
Yeah, we need to cancel James Charles after his butthole leaked on Twitter.
Okay, I'm pivoting. Other couples
not a
who
pivot
have
if you
been
announce it.
in the headlines. Have y'all been paying? Okay, I'm gonna start with some wholesome stuff a little bit, because like some of
What are
this
we
is-
doing? Couples Corner?
Yeah, we're doing our little like
Oh,
reality
okay.
couples corner news, since
Let's
we
do it.
talked about some other couples and we dipped in. Have you all been keeping up with Nick Lachey and Vanessa by chance?
I try not to.
I didn't know they lived in Hawaii. Did you?
No.
No. Didn't even. Oh, wait. Yeah, I read about this. Didn't know they lived there. Didn't even know she was on that show. Didn't even know she still did stuff like
Same.
that. I thought she just hosted
Yeah.
Love is
Love is
Blind.
Blind,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, she was on NCIS Hawaii, and they lived there for 3 years, and she was the first woman leading role in that like NCIS series. Didn't know that
Groundbreaking.
was a thing. I honestly didn't know this was a show.
You're such an anti-feminist.
Oh my god!
Clock
Don't
it.
be labeled like the things that label you. Anyway, and yeah, they're like, you know what? We're bidding farewell to Hawaii. This entire time, I had no idea that they were even
No
there.
clue.
I'm not gonna lie.
You know who should take notes from them?
Who?
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Because guess what? No one knew a thing.
Yeah.
No one knew a thing. And now they're coming back. Where are they going?
They're moving back to the States. I don't know.
You
but
realize
Hawaii
Hawaii's
is
in
a
the
state.
States?
like the
So, like, yes.
Like the
But
inland
also,
states
yes.
is what I meant to say.
Like not on an
They're
island.
moving back
Correct.
to the States.
They're moving back to the motherland.
I'm gonna go to Hawaii and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm from the States. And they're gonna be like,
I'm gonna
"What the
go and
fuck
be
is
like, I
wrong
can't wait to get back to the States.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, they're moving back and they're excited. They're not like, we've had great memories here. They're not overall like, this was our dream. We want to live here forever. Like maybe they knew it was temporary.
Are you a fan of Nick and Lachey? Nick and what's her name? Vanessa.
Nick and Lachey.
Nick and Lachey?
Nick and Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Lachey.
Yeah.
I think Vanessa's comments on Love is Blind, much like a lot of people online, have been very like, bitch, like what? Like she's put herself in a lot of situations where she's not just hosting, like she has like an opinion, like The View, about like people's relationships, if they're gonna have a baby, and she's very in it.
But I feel like that's what we want. Like
Yeah.
I want hosts to be like, if you're hosting, say like it's a Love Island or a Love is Blind, like I want the host to know what's going on. Like that's
Yeah.
why I feel like Jeff Probst has done Survivor for so long, because he knows
Yeah.
he knows everything about them, what they're doing. Like Sarah Hyland, when she did Love Island and when she like
Boring.
clocked that one
No,
guy,
I'm kidding.
she clocked that one guy and I was like, yeah, this is what I want. Like,
Yeah.
he's unfaithful, so bring it out.
Well, that's when people loved when Katie came to do when Ariana was hosting Love Island, and they do that after show.
Yeah, that
And then they were
Yeah, people
Yeah.
didn't like how Vanessa talked so much about her and Nick's relationship so many times. That was the other thing. But like, yeah, I think it's a very interesting dynamic. But like Vanessa does a lot of the talking for the two hosts. Like Nick is like, I'm here. I'm a
He can be bothered by it.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, she's gonna do what she wants, because like when they go home, that'll be a conversation if he like steps on her toes.
Yeah.
Which I respect. Yeah,
Girl.
let her talk.
So in other
See,
news,
again, anti-woman.
Anti-woman.
anti-woman. In other news, Kehlani has filed a restraining
It's
order.
a woman's world, and you're lucky to be living in it.
Do you want to continue?
Who's Kehlani? Oh,
Anyway, anti-woman.
Speaking of anti-woman,
sorry.
So-
I read no. Sorry, we discussed Kehlani before, but I
Correct.
read Skai Jackson, and you said Kehlani, and the two
the two went out the window.
Yeah, they crossed.
Do you
fires.
know Kehlani?
I do know Kehlani. I actually saw Kehlani at a Demi Lovato concert a long time ago. She was the opener,
Wow.
and she was phenomenal.
What
She
do
was
you
great.
think of Kehlani? Some people have their mixed thoughts on her career.
She's the one in the sex cult, right?
Correct. That's what-
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Some people have said she is a quote unquote sellout, like on the music side. But lately, people are opening up and looking more at her relationship with her former man and the child they share. There has been allegations that she has been in a cult and that she's not taking proper care of this son that the two had, which was an at-home birth. But basically, her former man, like we talked about before, is saying that, hey, like, I need to have like custody of this child. She's going on tours. She's being persuaded by this cult to make not great decisions on governing this child. But because it was a home birth, I don't have social security of this child and like other important documentation. If the child was even registered, like, don't know how that works, but that's where we're at. She's filing a restraining order against him.
I think it's to your point of like the green screen reporters who just like take everything super out of context. That's not us. I wanted to defend us, actually.
thank
We
Your
do
Honor.
research.
Thank you.
I think because of her presence on like an app like TikTok where people will take these things, people are just taking the bits and pieces and using it to their advantage to be like, oh, like clickbait, but there's probably so much more to the story that no one knows. That's where I'm like, your parasocial relationships are getting out of hand. You weren't in the house. You weren't there you're like, oh, she had a birth at home, but you weren't there.
Yeah, none of
Like,
us were there.
none of us were there. She's going on tour. She's a musician who actually is like taking off now because like she hasn't had like a hit that's like really put her like up there with everybody else. But like After Hours is like the first one that I'm like, wow, this like people actually are listening to Kehlani that haven't listened to her before.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, she's gonna be going on tours with a child. Like that's just how it is.
Mhm. People have also had their opinion lately where she's posed for photos with Chris Brown and like they've been close, but Chris Brown was someone who made fun of her attempted suicide and one other person. So people were really like, Kehlani, we don't understand like what flipped, what's going on. This situation, there is a restraining order now. We don't know what's going to happen. And we don't know the next statement that may come out about this child.
She filed a restraining order against her ex.
Yes.
Hmm.
So this will make even more complications about shared custody. So we might see like some sort of update. She is supposed to be performing a lot more too. So Hold for helicopter. Is that a helicopter?
That's a plane.
That's a plane, girl.
It's a very
It's like that.
plane.
It's my ride.
Oh, I was thinking of that Drag Race quote. It's like, that's a booty hole.
Oh.
James Charles.
I can't with y'all. Other news, Sofia Vergara just had a very big variety spread. I don't know if either of you saw that.
Like
but
James Charles?
That's
You
Spread
can't
Eagle.
pivot. Yeah, you
That's
can't
Spread
pivot
Eagle.
from James Charles. And yeah.
Anyway, Sofia Vergara is talking about her past relationship. Do you all remember, like, she got divorced and the tabloids were talking about...
from Joe Manganiello.
Right. And it was a quote-unquote discrepancy about kids. And she has kids and he wanted them. And she's like, I'm ready to be a grandmother, like, at this point. So she was basically kind of saying, like, that's not the entirety. Like, we will also never know the entirety of, like...
Yeah, well, then what is the entirety? Then tell us, girl.
She looked great on this spread, like, in the photos. She also...
Can we call it a photo shoot? Because anytime you say spread, I just...
Okay, well, this photo
You're like
shoot...
blacking out, revisiting a video that we can't.
No. But do you all also... Did you watch the series that she was in? That she
Griselda?
was...
Modern
Yeah.
Family?
No. Watch that one.
I loved
that
her
one was
in Modern
phenomenal.
Family, yeah.
I
think
didn't watch Griselda.
She did really well in Griselda.
We saw the first
We
episode.
saw the first episode with
Yeah.
Erica Jane.
Yeah.
Throwback. Wow, that was a
Throwback.
while ago.
Was Erica Jane in Griselda, or was she just like hosting
No,
something?
she was just hosting.
Oh,
They're like, we're looking for a
Yeah.
bad bitch to host a series about a bad bitch.
why
Yeah.
not Sofia Vergara?
She was
That
busy.
one, she was in Spain.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
okay.
was somewhere. Yeah,
she
and
was
there
doing other
somebody else
busy-
that
they
was
needed a
enthralled in
backup.
some legal drama.
Yeah, totally.
This might stir up some more stuff about Sofia, but also, like, I think she's at a very good top right now. So I know that someone's gonna try to be like, let's press on a little about this. What was it more about?
Well, I loved her answer. She was like, I don't know what he's saying. Like, he could have said that or he couldn't have said that. Like, that's a great answer because, like, yeah, you guys probably aren't together. So it could be like his team just putting shit
Yeah,
out there and he
yeah.
might have not actually said that.
The quotes were like, we just didn't see eye to eye. We grew apart. It's like, I get that.
Yeah.
That's it. Just leave it. Let it be. Let her live.
Yeah, like maybe the kids weren't the end all be all, but it's like, okay, we didn't see eye to eye on that, but then like what else wasn't, what else didn't you see eye to eye on? Because he said that apparently like it was that he wouldn't have left her for the kids situation, but then they divorced anyway. So it's like, then what was the cause?
What was the reason?
What was the
Nobody
reason?
knows.
Last but not least, I don't like how with so many random pieces of news and things. Skai Jackson. Do you know Skai Jackson, Zach?
No.
Because you were confused at Kehlani and
Who's
Skai
Jackson?
Jackson.
Do you know Skai Jackson?
Yes, I do know Skai Jackson. You ever watch Jessie on Disney
Jessie,
Channel?
I did.
Nope.
She was Zuri on
Yes.
Disney Channel.
She was a child actress on Disney, and she's a very recognizable
Oh, I've
face.
seen her all
Yes.
over the internet lately.
She had that meme where she literally sits like this and just stares.
Yes.
That's how I
Yeah,
sit normally.
She
But
beat up her boyfriend, right? Well, I don't know. That's what the internet has said. That's what all the
No,
TikTok
I
green
just
screen
love
reporters have said.
The
Yep.
abrupt, like, in it. So,
Oh.
yeah, she was at Universal City Walk.
This is very Emma Roberts.
yeah, that's a family place. That's crazy. In
When
public.
you're here, your family. She was in public
And
with
she's
this
pregnant.
man.
She's pregnant.
And there was an alleged domestic violence incident of battery. And when the police showed up, she said, hey, like, this is so-and-so, like, we are engaged, like, and expecting, is the rumor that was, like, going on. So people are like, first of all, what? This news? Second of all, what happened, like, at Universal City Walk? There has been no photo, no video. Like, obviously, people love to snoop and take videos of things going on, wild arrests and whatnot. But we've not heard an ink of anything. A lick, whatever they call it.
A lick.
A lick.
Okay, it's so funny that we're talking about this because when it came out,
I know domestic violence is so funny.
no,
No.
that we're talking about whether like that there's nothing about it besides like the headline. Anti-woman. Oh my god. But like, there's nothing about it other than the headline. But when I was looking through like my notifications, as I get the news pop-ups, it was under like fake Reddit stories.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this isn't true. But then it popped up
That's
in
what
headlines.
Raygun's thing popped up under a fake Reddit story.
It was like under fake entertainment news, like as if people just make up headlines. But then I was like, oh, this is a little serious to just like be making that up. Like that's a little crazy.
Reddit, you got to go through some things a little more and suss it out.
Domestic violence is bad. It's really
It's
bad.
really
We know it's
bad.
also bad. Fake headlines. But I don't think this is a fake headline.
I'm like, damn, is this podcast now like divulging the headlines. Like, is it real or is it fact or cap, whatever they call it? Like,
Fact or cap? I think it's a fact. I feel like it definitely
It's
happened.
like, I believe she hit him.
I believe there was too many details, like Universal City Walk. Like there's witnesses. There has to be
Cameras. She
She
was arrested.
Is there a mugshot?
we don't have anything.
Damn.
Maybe it is fake. There's no mugshot.
Huh.
It's just wild. Skai Jackson. People are also just gooped that she is expecting and engaged.
Gooped.
Yeah,
Gwyneth
out of nowhere, it's like engaged, pregnant, arrested, domestic violence. Like what a pipeline.
I've been traveling. I've been to prison.
We all
You?
have.
Luann.
Oh right, yeah.
Mm.
I was just
Mhm.
watching that trailer because the new one came out and Luann shaded it.
And she's like,
the reboot trailer.
I love the video. Oh, I don't love it. Never mind. The video. I just thought of the video of her in
When
the
she
car.
beat up the cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Glorifying domestic violence over here.
Well, those are our headlines for the week. Is there
We
anything
love
else?
a reality villain. Remember when Luann
We
was
love
beating up the
villains.
cop?
Get her on the Traitors. I love to.
She would be great. Have you seen her interviews? Like she's like half drunk. She always has her smoker voice. She always has like a hat on and her tits out.
It's like
She's
me.
great.
I was
That
gonna do
is-
that for this podcast. But I was
Tits
like,
out.
let's keep it
I was like,
demure.
very demure,
I was
very
about to say, I'm
mindful.
like, any other headlines y'all want to talk about? You're like riffing off on this over here.
It's just been Countess Luann is a vibe.
Yeah.
She's like a future Big Ange.
Oh, 100%.
She's getting there.
Mm-hmm. I wish her a really long life, though.
Yeah.
We need her for a while. Her cabaret shows probably are keeping her young.
Have you seen the footage of those?
I saw her
No.
fall down.
Oh my
Did she fall
god,
down?
they're so. I don't know. Probably
Something
she falls
fell.
down a lot, but like the videos are so bad. Like her like she just can't sing, but she like will belt out Adele.
Yeah, it's just like, again, we award below mediocrity,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like, she's making her money. I wish I could do it
That's
too.
what Raygun should go on tour.
Yeah,
Like
like
breakdancing.
not like
tour.
a breakdancing tour.
Breakdancing with the Stars.
She could probably sell out the Kia Forum.
They should put her on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God, her and Hawk Tua.
They also want
That'd
the
be crazy.
the guy who did the pommel horse, like with the glasses.
Steve?
They want him on
Steve?
Dancing with the Stars, and he's like, I don't dance. Like that's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, does that translate? Like, if you're a gymnast or, well, yeah, Simone Biles was pretty good on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about her.
I feel like it's like, because it's choreography. If you do,
Yeah.
he doesn't do floor though. If you did floor, like that's a whole,
What does he do?
Floor,
The pommel horse.
What is that?
It's
the thing where he just like
you
spins
straddle
on
it,
it.
you spin.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Not
get
that he
pummeled
just
like a
spins
horse,
on it.
Zack.
He fucking spins.
He just spins.
He just like
on-
spins on it. No, he like holds himself up.
It's like a fidget spinner.
Yeah, literally that. Yeah, yes.
Well, what a fun episode. If you haven't subscribed, you totally should, because we have bitches like this man over here who come on and we have a good time and we just keep talking about misinformation, the Reddit threads,
You being
the cabaret
Michelle.
shows. The what? Me
You being the Michelle.
What if Michelle's on here? What if she's like,
She would be lucky.
She'd be amazing on it. That would be a great
Can
conversation.
she sing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would suggest, if you want to hear her sing, go watch them sing Through With Love. It's like a live performance and they all like sing live and it's really good.
yeah. Also, Kelly Rowland Commander. It should be our national anthem and should be played for all of the rallies for Kamala. I'm just saying.
What if she comes out to it at the DNC? Is that happening right now?
It's happening in like a few
days.
In a few days.
That
yeah.
could be her intro.
That could be me.
Also, did you see, sorry, I know you're ending the episode. Did you see that Beyonce, the people are like speculating that she'll end the DNC? Did you see that?
She could end a lot of people.
No.
I know. Yeah, but like,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh no, not like that. Like, she could close it out with a performance.
she could, and so could Taylor.
Okay.
Every time everyone's like, Taylor will get involved in an election. No, she won't.
Her and Blake are besties, and you are the company you keep. So,
Well,
They're
what
both terrible.
what a fun episode. Thank you so much, Lewis,
Shit,
for
we're gonna
coming
get
on.
taken out. I'm gonna get taken out with a sniper.
Lois, where can they find you?
They can find me on social media at Louis Levanti on TikTok, Instagram. Snapchat has an underscore somewhere.
Oh, that's where you do the naughty stuff.
That's where I do the naughty stuff, and by naughty, it's truly just dumps of like my not. Oh god.
Fake Reddit threads.
Anyways,
This
that's
is
where you can
unhinged.
find me, and I'd like to say I'm 2 for 2.
You
So let's see if I go
learned
for 3
nothing
for 3.
from Snap School.
I didn't. Truly nothing. Not a thing.
Not a thing up there.
They're like, no scandalous pictures. I'm like, shirtless. And they're like, oh, that's great. Reward it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we'll see you all real soon. I can't be serious on this. Bye, y'all.
Bye,
See you
guys.
soon.